Chapters 26 through 29 of First Chronicles, American Standard Version. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information and to find out how you can volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Sam Stinson. Chapter 26. For the courses of the doorkeepers, of the Korahites, Meshelemiah the son of Kore, of the sons of Asaph, and Meshelemiah had sons, Zechariah the firstborn, Jediel the second, Zebediah the third, Jathniel the fourth, Elam the fifth, Jehohanan the sixth, Elihahonai the seventh. And Obed-Edom had sons, Shemaiah the firstborn, Jehozabad the second, Joah the third, and Sacar the fourth, and Nethanel the fifth, Amiel the sixth, Issachar the seventh, Peuelthai the eighth. For God blessed him. Also unto Shemaiah his son were sons born, that ruled over the house of their father, for they were mighty men of valor. The sons of Shemaiah, Othni, and Rephael, and Obed, Elzabad, whose brethren were valiant men, Elihu, and Semachiah. All these were of the sons of Obed-Edom, they and their sons and their brethren, able men in strength for the service, 62 of Obed-Edom. And Meshelemiah had sons and brethren, valiant men, 18. Also Hosa of the children of Merari had sons, Shimri the chief, for though he was not the firstborn, yet his father made him chief, Hilkiah the second, Tebaliah the third, Zechariah the fourth. All the sons and brethren of Hosa were 13. Of these were the courses of the doorkeepers, even of the chief men, having offices like their brethren, to minister in the house of Jehovah. And they cast lots, as well the small as the great, according to their fathers' houses, for every gate. And the lot eastward fell to Shelemiah. Then for Zechariah his son, a discreet counselor, they cast lots, and his lot came out northward, to Obed-Edom southward, and to his sons the storehouse, to Shuppim and Hosa westward, by the gate of Shaleketh, at the causeway that goeth up, watch against watch. Eastward were 6 Levites, northward 4 a day, southward 4 a day, and for the storehouse 2 and 2. For Parbar westward, 4 at the causeway, and 2 at Parbar. These were the courses of the doorkeepers, of the sons of the Korahites, and of the sons of Merari, and of the Levites. Ahijah was over the treasures of the house of God, and over the treasures of the dedicated things. The sons of Ladan, the sons of the Gershonites belonging to Ladan, the heads of the fathers' houses belonging to Ladan the Gershonite, Jehieli, the sons of Jehieli, Zetham and Joel his brother, over the treasures of the house of Jehovah. Of the Amramites, of the Izharites, of the Hebronites, of the Uzzielites, and Shebuel the son of Gershom, the son of Moses, was ruler over the treasures. And his brethren, of Eleazar came Rehabiah his son, and Jeshiah his son, and Joram his son, and Zichri his son, and Shelomoth his son. This Shelomoth and his brethren were over all the treasures of the dedicated things, which David the king, and the heads of the fathers' houses, the captains over thousands and hundreds, and the captains of the host, had dedicated. Out of the spoil won in battles did they dedicate to repair the house of Jehovah. And all that Samuel the seer, and Saul the son of Kish, and Abner the son of Ner, and Joab the son of Zeruiah had dedicated, whosoever had dedicated anything, it was under the hand of Shelomoth and of his brethren. Of the Izharites, Kenaniah and his sons were for the outward business over Israel, for officers and judges. Of the Hebronites, Hashabiah and his brethren, men of valor, 1,700 had the oversight of Israel beyond the Jordan westward, for all the business of Jehovah, and for the service of the king. Of the Hebronites was Jerijah the chief, even of the Hebronites, according to their generations by fathers' houses. In the 40th year of the reign of David they were sought for, and there were found among them mighty men of valor at Jazer of Gilead. And his brethren, men of valor, were 2,700, heads of fathers' houses, whom King David made overseers over the Reubenites, and the Gadites, and the half-tribe of the Manassites, for every matter pertaining to God, and for the affairs of the king. End of chapter 26. Chapter 27. Now the children of Israel after their number, to wit, the heads of fathers' houses, and the captains of thousands and of hundreds, and their officers that served the king, and any matter of the courses which came in and went out month by month, throughout all the months of the year, of every course were 24,000. Over the first course for the first month was Jashobeam, the son of Zabdiel, and in his course were 24,000. He was of the children of Perez, the chief of all the captains of the host for the first month. And over the course of the second month was Dodai the Ahohite, and his course, and Mikloth the ruler, and in his course were 24,000. The third captain of the host for the third month was Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada the priest, chief, and in his course were 24,000. This is that Benaiah who was the mighty man of the 30, and over the 30, and of his course was Ammizabad his son. The fourth captain for the fourth month was Asahel the brother of Joab, and Zebadiah his son after him, and in his course were 24,000. The fifth captain for this fifth month was Shamhuth the Izrahite, and in his course were 24,000. The sixth captain for the sixth month was Ira the son of Ikesh the Tekoite, and in his course were 24,000. The seventh captain for the seventh month was Helez the Pelonite, of the children of Ephraim, and in his course were 24,000. The eighth captain for the eighth month was Sibbecai the Hushathite, of the Zerahites, and in his course were 24,000. The ninth captain for the ninth month was Abiezer the Anathothite, of the Benjamites, and in his course were 24,000. The 10th captain for the 10th month was Mahari the Netophathite, of the Zerahites, and in his course were 24,000. The 11th captain for the 11th month was Benaiah the Pirathonite, of the children of Ephraim, and in his course were 24,000. The 12th captain for the 12th month was Heldai the Netophathite, of Othniel, and in his course were 24,000. Furthermore, over the tribes of Israel, of the Reubenites was Eleazar, the son of Zikri the ruler, of the Simeonites, Shephatiah the son of Makkah, of Levi, Hashabiah the son of Kemuel, of Aaron, Zadok, of Judah, Elihu, one of the brethren of David, of Issachar, Omri the son of Michael, of Zebulun, Ishmaiah the son of Obadiah, of Naphtali, Jeremoth the son of Azriel, of the children of Ephraim, Hoshea the son of Azaziah, of the half-tribe of Manasseh, Joel the son of Pedaiah, of the half-tribe of Manasseh in Gilead, Iddu the son of Zechariah of Benjamin, Jaziel the son of Abner, of Dan, Azarel the son of Jeroham. These were the captains of the tribes of Israel. But David took not the number of them from 20 years old and under, because Jehovah had said he would increase Israel like to the stars of heaven. Joab the son of Zeruiah began to number, but finished not. And there came wrath for this upon Israel, neither was the number put into the account in the Chronicles of King David. And over the king's treasures was Azmaveth the son of Adiel, and over the treasures in the fields, in the cities, and in the villages, and in the castles was Jonathan the son of Uzziah. And over them that did the work of the field for tillage of the ground was Ezri the son of Calub. And over the vineyards was Shimei the Ramathite. And over the increase of the vineyards for the wine cellars was Zabdi the Shifmite. And over the olive trees and the sycamore trees that were in the lowland was Baal-Hanan the Gederite. And over the cellars of oil was Joash. And over the herds that fed in Sharon was Shetrai the Sharonite. And over the herds that were in the valleys was Shaphat the son of Adlai. And over the camels was Obil the Ishmaelite. And over the asses was Jediah the Meronothite. And over the flocks was Jaziz the Hagrite. All these were the rulers of the substance, which was King David's. Also Jonathan, David's uncle, was a counselor, a man of understanding, and a scribe. And Jehiel the son of Hachmoni was with the king's sons. And Ahithophel was the king's counselor, and Hushai the Archite was the king's friend. And after Ahithophel was Jehoiada the son of Benaiah, and Abiathar, and the captain of the king's host was Joab. End of chapter 27. Chapter 28. And David assembled all the princes of Israel, the princes of the tribes, and the captains of the companies that served the king by course, and the captains of thousands, and the captains of hundreds, and the rulers over all the substance and possessions of the king and of his sons, with the officers and the mighty men, even all the mighty men of valor unto Jerusalem. Then David the king stood up upon his feet, and said, Hear me, my brethren, and my people. As for me, it was in my heart to build a house of rest for the ark of the covenant of Jehovah, and for the footstool of our God. And I had made ready for the building. But God said unto me, Thou shalt not build a house for my name, because thou art a man of war, and hast shed blood. Howbeit Jehovah, the God of Israel, chose me out of all the house of my father to be king over Israel for ever. For he hath chosen Judah to be prince, and in the house of Judah, the house of my father, and among the sons of my father, he took pleasure in me to make me king over all Israel. And of all my sons, for Jehovah hath given me many sons, he hath chosen Solomon my son to sit upon the throne of the kingdom of Jehovah over Israel. And he said unto me, Solomon thy son, he shall build my house and my courts, for I have chosen him to be my son, and I will be his father. And I will establish his kingdom for ever, if he be constant to do my commandments and mine ordinances, as at this day. Now, therefore, in the sight of all Israel, the assembly of Jehovah, and in the audience of our God, observe and seek out all the commandments of Jehovah, your God, that ye may possess this good land, and leave it for an inheritance to your children after you for ever. And thou, Solomon, my son, know thou the God of thy father, and serve him with a perfect heart, and with a willing mind. For Jehovah searcheth all hearts, and understandeth all the imaginations of the thoughts. If thou seek him, he will be found of thee. But if thou forsake him, he will cast thee off for ever. Take heed now, for Jehovah hath chosen thee to build a house for the sanctuary. Be strong and do it. Then David gave to Solomon his son the pattern of the porch of the temple, and of the houses thereof, and of the treasuries thereof, and of the upper rooms thereof, and of the inner chambers thereof, and of the place of the mercy seat, and the pattern of all that he had by the Spirit, for the courts of the house of Jehovah, and for all the chambers round about, for the treasuries of the house of God, and for the treasuries of the dedicated things. Also for the courses of the priests and the Levites, and for all the work of the service of the house of Jehovah, and for all the vessels of service in the house of Jehovah. Of gold by weight, for the vessels of gold, for all vessels of every kind of service. Of silver, for all the vessels of silver by weight, for all vessels of every kind of service. By weight also for the candlesticks of gold, and for the lamps thereof, of gold. By weight for every candlestick, and for the lamps thereof, and for the candlesticks of silver. Silver by weight for every candlestick, and for the lamps thereof, according to the use of every candlestick. And the gold by weight for the tables of shewbread, for every table, and silver for the tables of silver. And the flesh hooks, and the basins, and the cups of pure gold. And for the golden bowls by weight for every bowl, and for the silver bowls by weight for every bowl. And for the altar of incense refined gold by weight, and gold for the pattern of the chariot, even the cherubim, that spread out their wings, and covered the ark of the covenant of Jehovah. All this, said David, have I been made to understand in writing, from the hand of Jehovah, even all the works of this pattern. And David said to Solomon his son, Be strong and of good courage, and do it. Fear not, nor be dismayed, for Jehovah God, even my God, is with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee, until all the work for the service of the house of Jehovah be finished. And behold, there are the courses of the priests and the Levites, for all the service of the house of God. And there shall be with thee in all manner of work, every willing man that hath skill, for any manner of service. Also the captains and all the people will be holy at thy commandment. End of chapter 28. Chapter 29. And David the king said unto all the assembly, Solomon my son, whom alone God hath chosen, is yet young and tender, and the work is great. for the palace is not for man, but for Jehovah God. Now I have prepared with all my might for the house of my God the gold for the things of gold, and the silver for the things of silver, and the brass for the things of brass, the iron for the things of iron, and wood for the things of wood, onyx stones, and stones to be set, stones for inlaid work, and of divers colours, and all manner of precious stones, and marble stones in abundance. Moreover also, because I have set my affection on the house of my God, seeing that I have a treasure of mine own of gold and silver, I give it unto the house of my God, over and above all that I have prepared for the holy house, even 3,000 talents of gold, of the gold of Ophir, and 7,000 talents of refined silver, wherewith to overlay the walls of the houses, of gold for the things of gold, and of silver for the things of silver, and for all manner of work to be made by the hands of artificers. Who then offereth willingly to consecrate himself this day unto Jehovah? Then the princes of the fathers' houses, and the princes of the tribes of Israel, and the captains of thousands and of hundreds, with the rulers over the king's work, offered willingly. And they gave for the service of the house of God of gold 5,000 talents, and 10,000 darics, and of silver 10,000 talents, and of brass 18,000 talents, and of iron 100,000 talents. And they with whom precious stones were found gave them to the treasure of the house of Jehovah, under the hand of Jehiel the Gershonite. Then the people rejoiced, for that they offered willingly, because with a perfect heart they offered willingly to Jehovah. And David the king also rejoiced with great joy. Wherefore David blessed Jehovah before all the assembly. And David said, Blessed be thou, O Jehovah, the God of Israel our father, for ever and ever. Thine, O Jehovah, is the greatness, and the power, and the glory, and the victory, and the majesty, for all that is in the heavens and in the earth is thine. Thine is the kingdom, O Jehovah, and thou art exalted as head above all. Both riches and honour came of thee, and thou rulest over all. And in thy hand is power and might, and in thy hand it is to make great, and to give strength unto all. Now therefore, our God, we thank thee, and praise thy glorious name. But who am I, and what is my people, that we should be able to offer so willingly after this sort? For all things come of thee, and of thine own have we given thee. For we are strangers before thee, and sojourners, as all our fathers were. Our days on the earth are as a shadow, and there is no abiding. O Jehovah our God, all this store that we have prepared to build thee a house for thy holy name cometh of thy hand, and is all thine own. I know also, my God, that thou triest the heart, and hast pleasure in uprightness. As for me, in the uprightness of my heart I have willingly offered all these things. And now have I seen with joy thy people that are present here offer willingly unto thee. O Jehovah, the God of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Israel, our fathers, keep this for ever in the imagination of the thoughts of the heart of thy people, and prepare their heart unto thee. And give unto Solomon my son a perfect heart, to keep thy commandments, thy testimonies, and thy statutes, and to do all these things, and to build the palace, for which I have made provision. And David said to all the assembly, Now bless Jehovah your God. And all the assembly blessed Jehovah, the God of their fathers, and bowed down their heads, and worshipped Jehovah and the king. And they sacrificed sacrifices unto Jehovah, and offered burnt offerings unto Jehovah. On the morrow after that day, even 1,000 bullocks, 1,000 rams, and 1,000 lambs, with their drink offerings, and sacrifices in abundance for all Israel, and did eat and drink before Jehovah on that day with great gladness. And they made Solomon the son of David king the second time, and anointed him unto Jehovah to be prince, and Zadok to be priest. Then Solomon sat on the throne of Jehovah as king, instead of David his father, and prospered, and all Israel obeyed him. And all the princes, and the mighty men, and all the sons likewise of King David submitted themselves unto Solomon the king. And Jehovah magnified Solomon exceedingly in the sight of all Israel, and bestowed upon him such royal majesty as had not been on any king before him in Israel. Now David the son of Jesse reigned over all Israel, and the time that he reigned over Israel was 40 years. 7 years reigned he in Hebron, and 33 years reigned he in Jerusalem. And he died in a good old age, full of days, riches, and honor. And Solomon his son reigned in his stead. Now, the acts of David the king, first and last, behold, they are written in the history of Samuel the seer, and in the history of Nathan the prophet, and in the history of Gad the seer, with all his reign and his might, and the times that went over him, and over Israel, and over all the kingdoms of the countries. End of chapter 29, and also the end of First Chronicles, American Standard Version.